there's a big misconception out there about being humble, right? Being humble means holding back. Too many leaders are holding back, pulling punches, not saying what they really think, all under the guise of humility. See, I think we love to wear the word humble like a badge of honor, right? Oh, I'm humble. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Yet that is the exact problem. We are not owning our power. And so when I say that, I don't mean that you need to be the loudest in the room, that you need to brag on yourself all of the time, that you need to make other people feel small in order for you to feel big. But what I do mean is just stating the facts, right? The fact of what you are truly accomplishing. And you know what that does? That helps others know that they too can state their greatness. And it's important for you as the leader to invite people to share their greatness, right? And so how do we do that? So if I want to let you know of all of the things that I am doing and I am accomplishing, I can then invite you to tell me what you are doing and actually challenge you to go ahead and speak your truth, speak what you are doing in a great way. And what I find really crazy about this is that even executives at the highest level, even entrepreneurs who have accomplished so much, don't want to talk about all of the great things that they're doing. While others who may not be doing as much have no problem over exaggerating. This is crazy to me. Yet I see it happen all of the time. Right? It's the idea that being humble means downplaying your achievements, not taking the credit, or staying quiet even when you should be speaking up. Right? And so I want you to listen and get to the point where you really aren't as modest, where you are just stating the facts. And here's the thing, humility, when it goes too far, it actually hurts your leadership, right? So let's be real. Some people hide behind humility as a shield. They don't want to step fully into their power because maybe that feels uncomfortable. Maybe that feels like you're being arrogant. Maybe it feels as though you don't think you're worthy. Think about that. Do you truly feel as though you're worthy of all of your accomplishments? Because if you were, then why wouldn't you be speaking about all of the great things that you do? And by the way, like I said, inviting others to do the same. Sometimes there's a fear of just simply not wanting to talk about it. Right? There's a fear of being judged. There's a fear of like, who do you think you are? And that is not helping anyone. It's certainly not helping you. So today I want us to kick it off with how do we kind of kick humility to the curb? Right? It's time for us to lead with strength, to lead with authenticity without apologizing for who we are and everything we bring to the table. And it's about kind of really finding out what's the opposite, not the extreme, right? I don't want you to go down like that big ego drawn command and control, old school way of being. That I don't want from you. That's old. That's played out. We're not doing that anymore, right? I want us to break this down into 3 steps on how we are going to lead our teams with compassion, with empathy, and accountability. So we're going to break that down here today. First up is compassion, right? So to me, compassion isn't about coddling or letting things go to the side. Compassion in leadership is about understanding where someone else is coming from, right? It's about taking the time to see things from their point of view. understanding their challenges and asking, how can I support you in a way that helps you grow? A lot of leaders make assumptions. A lot of us make assumptions. Oh, I know what they're going to say. I know what kind of guidance they need. I know what they need because I know what I needed in their spot. But that might not be true, right? You can be real and be compassionate. Compassionate is like, hey, I'm here for you. I see you. I'm in your corner. Let me know how to support you. What do you need from me in this moment? Right? Imagine the difference and the trust that is built when you do it that way. Being able to be compassionate in that way is a literal game changer. So when you think about compassion and you think about when people have had compassion for you, it really truly builds trust. Now think about yourself when you've been on a team, when you've worked for someone, when you work on a project with someone. Trust is the differentiator. Trust is what makes projects move forward faster or slower. So if you want to position yourself as the leader in the room, and since you're here, I'm sure you do, trust, the people that can build trust the fastest, those are the ones that automatically become the leader in the room, right? So now I trust you, so we move faster. Things get accomplished much faster because now I can be honest with you. I can tell you exactly what's going on, but you can start doing that by building compassion, understanding, hey, how can I support you in this moment? What do you need from me? How do I do that? Asking them, not making assumptions, approaching things with a curiosity mindset. So I want you to ask yourself, how can I be more compassionate? How can I be more curious in this moment? Have I asked this individual, how can I support them? Or am I automatically going into fix-it mode? Am I automatically going into problem solver mode instead of asking questions? Right? I'm trying to be compassionate. How do I see myself in your shoes? What do you need from me? How am I looking? How can I look at things in a different way? So compassion is number one. Next up is empathy. See, and I think when leaders think about compassion and empathy, they think like it's all fluffy and I'm going to let people get away with whatever they want to get away with. No. That's not what we're doing. But we do want to have empathy, right? And so now empathy takes one step further. It takes it one step further. It's not just understanding where someone is coming from, but it's actually feeling empathy for them. It's really quieting your own thoughts and truly listening. So when we think about, many times we'll ask someone, okay, what are you going through? Or how can I help you? And we're listening to speak. We're not actually listening. We're automatically saying, oh, you know what? I've been in that situation, or I know someone in that situation. Let me tell you what you need to do. Let me tell you what your next step should be. Let me tell you how you should think. But no, empathy, we're going a step further and we are truly listening. We're quieting our own thoughts and we're just there and we're being open and we are just listening to them. You know, I want you to think about yourself. How good do you feel when people truly listen to you? When they don't give advice, when they are not automatically jumping the gun, but they are just truly listening. Now, when you do that for others, I mean, I think one of the biggest compliments people have ever given me is that I'm a good listener. Now, it wasn't always like that, but the trust continues to get built when you start listening. For those of you who know Stephen Covey, there's an emotional bank account that we all have, right? So we are making deposits into others' emotional bank accounts when we show compassion and we show empathy through listening. And then, of course, last is accountability. And so there's accountability. Accountability here really can get tricky, I think, for leaders who want to show compassion and empathy, right? Because that means we have to hold others accountable. But I always say we have to hold ourselves accountable first. Before we hold people to a high standard, we have to hold ourselves to the highest standard. And so many times we feel bad doing that, and then we blame others for not holding themselves accountable, yet we are not doing that for ourselves and we're not doing it for them. But since we are the leader in the room, we are now doing this for everyone, right? It means that you're holding someone accountable, and that could actually feel really good to both parties because we're being clear. We're being clear and we're being concise. Now we are setting the stage not only for ourselves, but also for them. Accountability is really about being direct and setting clear goals and following through on those goals. And it really starts with you. If you say you're going to do something, not only do you have to do it, and by the way, being accountable also means that you say no to other things because you are accountable to yourself, right? You're saying no to others because you're saying yes to yourself. You're just not expecting people to do the right thing. No, you're expecting people to do the right thing because you have set clear boundaries. So I want you to stop holding back. I want you to stop being humble. And I want you to take on real leadership. Real leadership isn't about shrinking yourself or not wanting to be noticed. It's about stepping into the role and balancing compassion, empathy, and accountability along with owning your impact. When you do that, you don't just earn respect, you inspire loyalty. Thank you so much for tuning in. If today's episode resonated with you, be sure to follow and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with me on socials at Coach Jessica Rivera, or you can find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to keep this conversation going. Don't forget to step into your power, communicate with intention, and lead unapologetically. Signing off until next time, sending you love and strength, your coach, Jess.